This video is presented by EA Game Changers. Thanking you to EA for providing me with a copy of the pack to review. Hey hens, how are you? Don't mind the crucifix on the floor. It's a paranormal pack. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit scary. You know what? We all do things. Also, if I look a little bit crusty, it's because it's literally 2 o'clock in the morning. So, we have Bonehilda back. I am so excited. I have a video coming out tomorrow where I have a full-on dedicated video to it, and the crucifix had to get involved. So yeah, we have a new pack. I'm not gonna fucking lie, yes, I'm just gonna be 100% open and honest. My favourite pack, I'm gonna say it.
It's a conspiracy theory that I'm actually interested in.
This is kind of like my niche. I really like paranormal things like this, but outside of that, like just objectively looking at it, this is my favourite stuff pack. I felt like I was playing with the game pack throughout all of this, and I'm very surprised that it's a stuff pack, honestly. I'm very impressed, and I love to be able to say that. I love it. Not everybody likes supernatural things, and honestly, with a lot of supernatural things, I'm not that arsed about them. Honestly, I could take or leave werewolves, you know what I mean? I'm more Team Edward than Team Jacob. But this pack is well done, so first off, let's take a bruise and create a sim. So the hairs are nice for the most part, honestly. I would have hated this mullet a year ago. If EA presented me with this mullet a year ago, I'd have been like, what the fuck is going on here on this day? And then now, quarantine has me questioning everything. And now I'm questioning if I should get a mullet. And if I did decide to get a mullet, I just need yourselves to support me in that decision, because we all do things. Thank you.
Do not question me.
I'm happy with the mullet. I also especially love the baby hairs that come with this hair. One of my favourite hairs that have been released so far. Now for clothing. So honestly, the style of clothing included, I expected to be more along the lines of Realm of Magic or to fit in with spooky stuff. And it kind of doesn't at all. And I'm a big fan of the clothes that came with Realm of Magic. Like that is 100%, like that takes me back to 2009 emo years, potentially seen. But I am also just as big of a fan as the clothes that are included here. They remind me of like a 70s paranormal investigator, like boom boom boom, who are you gonna call? Well, maybe not who you're gonna call Ghostbusters, but it's kind of that, but mixed with a bit of cottagecore, and it's really stylish. How bizarre. How bizarre. Like, I'd wear these. Honestly, the clothes are really, really nice. And they're all quite cohesive too. That's something I noticed as I was going through all of the creators and things. All the clothes go together. Like, there'll be like patterns and colour swatches of one dress, but those will also be the same patterns and colour swatches of a shirt. So nothing really feels like out of the ordinary. Everything feels very cohesive, which we all know has been an issue with the Sims team before. I am also going to be open and honest with you, because I do feel like I do have a vested interest in this pack, because this kind of thing is my special interest. These kind of clothes remind me of Matthew McFadden, who surprisingly enough plays Mr. Darcy. It reminds me of him in The Enfield Haunting, which is a very good show, but it's got that kind of style for me. But that seals the deal further for me, and I don't think that that's a hindrance in my judgment, because The Enfield Haunting is literally about paranormal investigators. So for all of these clothes to be reminding me of that makes Create Sim seem more strong for me. And I was a bit let down with the children and toddlers clothing, because nothing's really included. Really like to have seen this paranormal thing took further with kids, because I feel like if it was with adults, it'd feel a bit gimmicky. But toddlers and kids, like, can you imagine if I was a fucking toddler, right? If my mum and dad were paranormal investigators, I'd want like child of a paranormal investigator written on me top. The gimmicky part of this pack could have been sold really well in like children and toddlers clothing. It's just some food for thought for the future. However, the hairs that are included, this becoming a reoccurring thing where they're including the same hairs for children and toddlers as they are for adults, kind of makes me question, like, why was this not a thing that was done before in previous Sims games? There's no new traits or aspirations to my knowledge. I could be legally blind because I could not see one, and I always get paranoid about that if I'm just missing them and they're actually there. I would have liked to have seen a never scared trait or a paranormal enthusiast or something, but we do get a reward trait, which basically lets you do the new career, and we also get a new emotion, which I'll talk about later on as well. So I would have liked to see no new traits and aspirations, but I do feel like we have things instead of the new traits and aspirations, where sometimes with other packs it feels like we don't have new traits or aspirations and there's nothing to replace that. I have not been smoking weed, right? I just want to let you all know I am just fucking tired. With this anxiety, I could never. We don't get any new doors or windows, which I was, not gonna lie, I was very fucking sad about. But we do get one new flooring and wallpaper. And I was also sad about that because I was like, one, come on now. Don't you treat me like a fucking fool here. But again, I'm seeing this reoccurring thing where like the floor and the wallpaper, although I would have liked to seen it a bit more cohesive with like Paranormal, they go really well together. The swatches all match. And we kind of have like the Paranormal wallpaper and everything that came with vampires and spooky stuff. And this is a bit more of a day-to-day one, which can still kind of have the Paranormal vibes. Maybe like to have seen the concept took further because not everybody also owns Spooky Day and vampires, but also in terms of cross compatibility, they're more usable. So I'm undecided on if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but I would like to see another wallpaper included, like howay. But the actual objects that are included in the game are probably my favourite in the game so far. I really like the style of them. There's lots of different swatches, and again, shock horror, the swatches are all cohesive with each other, but the swatches aren't all out there. There is some out there swatches, obviously. They also provide you with swatches that will go with a lot of things in game. I did not have a hard time at all matching these swatches with everything else. We're not having a repeat of Cats and Dogs where the furniture's lovely, but it can only go with things that were featured in Cats and Dogs. One thing that I noticed as well is that the objects go with each other, but also go with the walls and flooring, and honestly, they also go with the clothes as well. Like The Sims, when I say go hard or go home, they went hard on matching these swatches together. So as with every single stuff pack, there is a lot of objects that are just for decoration, and then there's a featured object, and the featured object in this one is the seance table. But there also is a couple of usable objects as well, which I like. So I'm a big fan of the clothes and objects that are included. If I was going to give them a rating, I'd say 8 out of 10. Could have took the entire thing a little bit further, but they've also got great cross compatibility with other packs. But if you've ever watched one of my reviews before, you'll know that I don't place that much stock in clothes and objects, honestly. Like, I'm glad that they've wowed me, but also, unless you're a console player, because console players can't get custom content, I hold the belief that objects and clothes, what about them? Because you can go and download so many custom content pieces that, no offense to the Sims team, a lot of custom content sometimes is better than the stuff that you get in game. I like the objects that are included, strong 8 out of 10, but I never place so much stock in objects because you can just get them for free. Kind of judge packs more on how they impact the game or the gameplay with them. So speaking of which, let's move on to the gameplay. Let's take a moment. I'm impressed. Usually I find that The Sims 4 falls short with gameplay, but not in this case, Hennies. I'm impressed. Honestly, playing this, genuinely, hand on heart, me to thee, I had to go and check that this was definitely a stuff pack and not a game pack because I was impressed. What a concept. We do get a new emotion, which is scared. And like I said earlier, I am happy. I'm happy that the scared emotion's included. I do think that this is included in the general updates, but like this was developed with this pack in mind. So what we lacked in traits, we kind of made up for with emotion. The entire gameplay basically focuses around the paranormal and the investigation and communication with the paranormal things. And the main way of communicating with them is through the seance table. And the more you level up your medium skill, the more things that you can do with the seance table. So it's like how other things work in game as well. And this also ties into the new emotion too. So, you know, if you're doing this more and more, you might get more and more scared, which is pretty self-explanatory. And it's like ghosts can be scary and all that malarkey. There's 2 kinds of ghosts that you play with in this pack. So there's the original ghosts, which I'm just going to call ghosts, which are the ones that we've seen already in game. And they look like normal Sims, but just ghost versions. And then the others I'm going to call specimens, and they do have an actual name, which honestly is 2 o'clock in the morning, so that name escapes me, so I'm just going to call them specimens hens. No, that's okay. And they're like the really cute kinds of ghosts that you've seen in the gameplay trailer. So you can communicate with ghosts, and the seance table will summon ghosts as well. Once you get to a certain part, Guydry, I fucking hope I pronounce his name right, but he's a super flirtatious ghost, honestly. He'll appear after a certain skill level, and he's kind of, it's in the name, like he guides you through the paranormal investigator thing. And I was really impressed with him because A, he has lore written into the objects in game, so there's like frames of him and that, and B, there was a lot of options to talk and communicate with him. He wasn't, I mean, he kind of is just a tutorial, but he also flirts with the Sim, and he feels more fleshed out. Do you know what I mean? So I liked him in my game, honestly. Every time he came to see me, I was like, hello there, Guydry, how are you doing? But yeah, I really like him, and as a self-declared whore for law, I'm very happy about his background. And also, your Sims can turn into ghost forms temporarily, which I was not expecting. Honestly, was not expecting, but I was really happy about it. We all know we love to see our Sims die sometimes, but it is only temporary. So this can happen if you do I think it's called a ghoulish seance, seance or something. Or I think if you give away enough of your soul, I think you temporarily turn into a ghost then. But the specimens are the more cute kinds of ghosts, and they're the ghosts that you can like give your soul to and stuff like that. They haunt houses, they leave creepy dolls talking about, wreak havoc on houses, and they can be nice, but they can also be little bastards, which is still super, super cute. I'm not gonna lie, no matter how much is traumatized by Sim, I'll fucking wreck my house. I'm like, oh, God love him. I'm like that parent that can't ever accept the fact that the kid's done something wrong. There's also like this hand that's included in the game, which can be used to modify the difficulty of the specimens, which very happy that this is included, because a complaint that I've had about The Sims is the customization sometimes just is not there and is very much lacking. And I don't like that because, you know, sometimes I want things to be more difficult. Sometimes I want things to be more easy, but all in all, I kind of just want the choice. And that lets you change how easy or difficult you want that, which fucking love. I love that. I love that, especially with COVID, you know, sometimes it's nice to just have a day off. But yeah, there's lots to do with the seance table, but the thing that you're probably all waiting for me to talk about is one thing that you can do is summon Bonehilda. So, Bonehilda, let me just say some complaints I have first.
Excuse me.
What is that?
You are creating a monster.
Her eyes are fucking weird, and why does she look like that? There's something not quite right there. There's something off. That's no Bonehilda. She also has no coffin, which I'm not gonna lie, when I first heard about this, I was gutted, you know. Deep inside I was gutted, but I kind of held my reservations in because I hadn't actually played with the pack yet, and I didn't want to make a comment on it either way because I hadn't played with the pack. Honestly, she's better than I expected, which I'm really fucking happy to say. I expected the Sims team to do a dirty. I'm really sorry at the Sims team. I've cast judgments, and you know what, I'm willing to hold my hands up. I was wrong. I genuinely thought that she'd be a bit shy. I thought like she'd just have the same kind of worth as a ghost, but now you can actually interact with her. You can woohoo her. I didn't try that because I got too much respect for her, honestly. Like, we are strictly friends. But you can add her to your family. And because she doesn't have a coffin, it means she can't stay around forever, which honestly I kind of like. Didn't think I would, but I do kind of like. Boss, it's not that hard to summon her with the seance table. She doesn't stick around forever. Sometimes a coffin can, don't fucking shoot me, but sometimes a coffin can be a bit of an eyesore, especially if you're in like a modern house. Basically, summoning her through a seance table might be a bit annoying. Like, a coffin might be easy. You could just hide it in the basement or whatever. But I don't mind the seance table at all, because while she is here, she acts like Bonehilda acts. Like, honestly, she cleans. She was cleaning up my entire place for me. She was fixing things, because obviously I've got fucking specimens and ghosts running about, messing all of my toilets and sinks up, and she was fixing all of them, mopping up all the puddles, serving food, and the bitch got herself a pint and went in the bath. And you know what? Utter respect for the lass. But I'm not too sure if this is a glitch, but when she did get in the bath, she turned into this ginger lass that I've never seen before in my fucking life. I've never seen her in any Sims game. Apparently it's Bonehilda. In my mind, I'm like, is this law? Do I detect law? But I think, like, realistically, probably what it is the Bonehilda skin is literally just a skin, like an outfit. So when she gets naked, the Bonehilda suit comes off. But yeah, basically confirmed that Bonehilda's a ginger, and I love that for her. So, but yeah, Bonehilda surprised me, honestly. I expected to be really disappointed with her, and I am shocked to say I'm not. And I kind of really like how she operates with the seance table in The Sims 4. So then we're going to move on to the actual freelancer career that was included, the haunted house ghosty catchibon, which honestly I forgot was even included because I was having so much fun with the spirits of my own home and communicating with the ghosts and doing all the seance table things. I forgot there was a career. It's kind of difficult, honestly. It took me a while to figure everything out because you can't just like sign up for a career. Got to obtain your ghost hunting license or something first by mastering the medium skill, but it's kind of a necessity to master the medium skill because you need to literally hunt these ghosts. But yeah, honestly, the fact that I even forgot about this pack just makes a lot of other stuff packs look a bit shit. Sure. The freelance career, you basically go to haunted houses, and haunted houses are a lot trait as well. So you can have the house that you're living in as a haunted house, and that's where the hand comes in as well to kind of thingy the difficulty on that. But yeah, you can have your house as a haunted house, and there's a lot of traits for it. But for haunted houses as part of the freelancer career job, I was very curious to see how they worked, because I thought there might have been like Get Famous, where it's just a shell and like the objects within that shell change each time. I thought that's how this would operate. So each time it'd just be like a different shell of a room. It's kind of like the Sims 3 Ambitions. You go to actual houses that already exist in game. So I think I went to the Delgado family. Is that their name? Or is that just Modern Family? Or is it both? I don't know. And even fucking Vladislav Stroud, his manor was haunted. But Vlad actually loved the ghosts, the absolute sadist. I don't even think he even wanted me to get rid of him, because he kept fucking talking at me. Not to me, at me, when I was trying to get rid of the ghost. And he was like, I think I actually quite like them. Like, don't fucking ring us up then, Vlad. So it's kind of more like an active career, and it is reminiscent of the Sims 3 ghost hunting career. Some jobs are easy as well, and I finished them by like 1:30 in the morning. But then the more difficult ones, I was finishing at like 6 a.m. But honestly, it was so much fun. It was so much fun. And you've got the option like send them alone as well, because it is quite an involved job. But yeah, you can just send them alone. So if you can't be asked, you just send them off on the merry way. But yeah, you have to try and convince the specimens to leave when you're on the job. And also you got to like clean up ghost puddles and stuff. I don't know. Am I cleaning up ghost piss for a living? I don't get paid enough for this. Like, this thing's growing out the ground and everything. It's really fun. It's really fun. And I can't believe, like, this feels like a game pack, the amount of gameplay that's in it. But yeah, sometimes the ghosts leave easily. You just have to say like, will you get out? And they're like, oh, yep. And then other times they're like, I fucking won't. So you have to try and give them a piece of your soul or give them a present. But I hadn't made any presents for the ghost, so I had to give them my soul. But obviously that can turn your sim into a ghost. And I don't think, I did test this, but it might have just been a glitch because I literally added a ghost to my family. I didn't test it whilst I was a ghost, like while my main sim temporarily got turned into a ghost. I don't think that ghosts can communicate with the specimens, but that might have just been a glitch because, you know, the ghost that I tried was added to the family by someone who came to visit me from the seance table. I just cheated and added him with the family, so that might be why that didn't work. But you know what, if that didn't work, I still think, like, if you temporarily turn into a ghost and you can't communicate with them, I like that, because then there's actual repercussions for your actions, you know, because giving away your soul too many times, look at fucking Voldemort, look how it turned out for him, not very good, spoiler. And you also get items every time you complete something. Like, I got spooky looking candy, and you can get things from the reward store, like special candles that can help with the ghost hunting and make your job easier and just day-to-day life easier if you're in a haunted house. So, I feel like I have probably missed something, but that's my review of this pack. It's genuinely positive. There's only minimal negatives. The gameplay is great. Create a Sim's great. Build and buy is great. Build is lackluster. This niche is right up my alley though. Like, the music, the sound effects that happen, the specimens, like all of that kind of vibe is a special interest for me. So that, like, this pack really caters towards me and my play style. But my own personal interest aside, the gameplay was genuinely entertaining and extensive, which makes a nice change from some of the more shallow aspects of the game. Like, for me, this game pack, the specimens are more fleshed out than mermaids, and mermaids came with an expansion pack, and this is a stuff pack. So this is probably the best stuff pack in terms of depth and value for money, in my opinion. And that's objectively speaking, with my own personal bias to this game removed. There's a lot of stuff here, and there's a lot of depth to it, and I had such a fucking good time playing with it. And you can tell because it's 2 o'clock in the morning. Like, could I have just went to sleep and recorded this in the morning? Yes, but I didn't want to stop playing. So that's that. I have a video coming out tomorrow where I try and find Bonehilda, and then I have a video the day after where I make a haunted house in The Sims 4, but in The Sims 3 style, like on the Halloween party thing. Do you just know what I'm on about? I basically make a haunted house, but it's livable. Right, that is everything that I have for you today. Very pleased to say that I have a positive review. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, beach.